In another life, across the sea or somewhere just as far away, I was Junior Field Medic Kiri Amaranth. Now it's usually just Kiri. It's been 14 years, 3 months, and 28 days since I've been home. I'm almost 200 years old, and sometimes I still catch myself counting the hours. I miss home. But more than home, I miss her, the Queen. The last time I saw her was when she was captured in the final days of the war, right before my exile. I just can't help but feel restless in this place. I guess that's why I took up wandering. But it hasn't been all bad. There are wonderful people in this part of the world. There's beauty, both natural and magical, just waiting to be found. And this is where I met Dev. They're not quite like anyone I've encountered before, but they remind me of home. It's been nice to have someone to travel with again. But I still call out to her every night. She never answers. I don't know if she's still out there, still alive, but I have to have faith. For myself, for my people, and for my queen.
Hi there. I'm Devereaux. Devereaux Thistlebrook. My family owns Featherdown Traders. It's a small farm and general merchant operation headquartered in the small hamlet of Featherton. It's just on the other side of the hills outside of Faybreach. The farm produces wonderful cheeses, and they grow, dry, and distribute many different blends of tea. My younger sister Desiree is taking over the family business for my mother. But me? I guess I'm a bit of an oddity in halfling culture. You see, most halflings are perfectly content to stay home and keep a predictable, dull routine. Ugh. Me, though? I don't care for business or homesteading or any of that predictable stuff. It's boring, mundane, sedentary. So I've decided to spend my life as an explorer, just like my dad before me. There's always so much out there to see. Plants, animals, and all manner of fantastic creatures. I just gotta get out and see it for myself. So, I use some of my skills to act as a cartographer and guide for hire for other adventurers and travelers. I also keep a journal of all my own experiences, and I catalog the strange and wonderful things that I've seen in my trips. Someday, I hope that I'll write a book of my own. And when it gets published, I can be famous. Well, I can be more famous than any other halfling I've ever heard of in the realms. You know?
Why, hello there. I'm Salix of the Evertrees. I was raised by my parents in the massive forest just south of Valzara with my brother Kendall. We are only about a year apart in age, and we've always been really close, but we're pretty different. I'm a druid of the land, tasked with the care of a very old willow tree. The magic was strong in my blood when I was younger, so I was marked with ink I made from her bark. Kendall, not so much. A while back, I also heard of the god Cord, and it struck something in me. Since then, I've been training with the monks at the monastery outside Valzara to answer the call of the Stormlord. I don't know what he has in store for me, but I know it's something important. I recently also had to get Kendall out of some trouble he got himself into after he decided to leave our people. Now we're on the road for adventure. I don't want to live without him. We belong together like tea and honey. I don't know how far I can go from my tree, though. No one in our community has ever left their grove for very long or gone very far. But I guess we'll find out. Willow will be safe with Mother and Father. I hope.
Hi there, my name's Kendall Evertree from the Evertree Grove. It's a pleasure to meet you. Where are you from? Wait, no, that's not what this is about. Let me start from the beginning. I'm Kendall. Kendall Evertree, and I was born to the Evertree Grove. The Evertree Grove is south of Valzara. Normally an elf born into the grove becomes a druid, and becoming a druid means that you bond to a tree and you forever take care of it to make sure nothing ever happens to that tree. Now, although there's nothing wrong with that, that just wasn't me, which is a little strange specifically because my mom and dad are the elders of the grove, and their firstborn is kind of expected to go down that same lane. And to be honest, most everybody in the grove is a druid. Okay, everybody in the grove's a druid except for me. I'm actually quite proud of that. There isn't really anybody in the grove's history who didn't bond to a tree. Now, it kind of labeled me as an outcast, but that's okay with me. I don't plan on staying around too long, and I've actually left already, but I got myself into trouble. The trouble always seems to find me somehow. It's definitely not my fault. I don't care what Salix tells you. Oh yeah, and how could I tell you about myself without telling you about Salix? Salix is my younger sister and my best friend. She's basically the grove's prodigy. She's the best druid I've ever seen. And, well, she keeps me out of trouble. We do everything together, and, well, she's my voice of reason, and without her, I don't know what I'd do. But now we're going out into the world, and we're going to explore. We're going to see every corner of this world, and the realm, I know, has a lot to offer. So if you have any place that you know is amazing, just send me a message. I'd love to see it. Well, anyways, I'll see you around.
Hello, and welcome to Open for Adventures Sunday Friends campaign. This is session 4. How y'all doing today?
I'm so
You're
ready to
asking
play
us?
some D&D.
Oh, we're
Yeah.
doing great. I'm doing great.
Yeah?
Doing good.
All right, well, let's do a quick recap. Essentially, Kendall and Salix have met Devereaux and Curie. They have been exploring the Wildwoods, which is an untamed section of forests to the west of the main continent of Samaria. Last session, they found themselves in a giant's den where they played a game of dragon chess to claim 2 prizes, or 2 caches of prizes. They found 3 massive leather, what Devereaux calls blankets,
Blankets.
with massive giant runes on them. And they appear to be magical of some nature. However, the group has not been able to figure out exactly how to make them work. Last we left off, you had just finished your short rest in this underground cavern. And that's where we'll start today off.
Well, now that everyone's rested and we've had a chance to explore this area, would we call this exploring?
Sure.
Kendall, are you satisfied, or is this explored enough?
I don't know. I kind of want to go look at that skeleton again.
Maybe we shouldn't disturb those that are in their internal slumber.
Hey, you know what? I'll do whatever you want to do. And then I walk up to you and I just hug you. Like really, really, really good.
No. I didn't even get hurt, Fuzzy. It's fine.
Oh, yeah. And then I let go and I kind of start getting up and a little ready, and I start. Yeah. So what do you want to do?
Def, I know you were really excited about it. Do you have anywhere else you want to explore in here?
Well, I look a little abashed at you. I was really hoping to look at the big skeleton, but if you guys don't want to do that, then I suppose we'll just go somewhere else.
I mean, You know, we've had so many issues with skeletons lately that may be best, since this one isn't doing anything, just to, leave it.
Yeah, the last skeleton I found stole my hatchet.
What if we promise not to touch it?
Oh yeah, we could just look. Like
Can
up
you?
close. Yeah.
What if you looked from like 30 feet back?
Kiri knows what's going on.
I promise Devereaux and I will not Dev, do you promise you won't? I won't touch it.
I swear I will not touch the giant skeleton.
Will not touch the giant skeleton.
I mean, sure.
I scurry away.
You can totally look at it without touching.
Last
If
one
she
of the
said
giant
yes.
skeletons.
Entirely possible. Just don't touch it.
He said yes, let's go.
Last one of the giant skeletons a slug, and I just go out as fast as I possibly can.
With your 25 feet of movement as a halfway.
I give Dev I give them a little bit of a head start and then I run after them.
Bless you.
I'm gonna just look at Salix as they run off. Do you think we should have told them not to talk to it as well?
It only speaks giant. Kendall, don't talk to it. Don't talk to it either, please.
I call
That
after
was a
them.
very good idea, Kiri.
Dev, I
Don't
think she
talk
said
to
something.
strangers.
I heard something about talk to it.
No,
Talk to
don't,
it.
don't talk to it. No,
Okay,
don't.
Felix, I'll talk to it.
No, please.
We only
Yes.
promised not to touch it.
Oh, cool.
Kendall and
Please
Devereaux,
give
you
me
make your way
strength.
up to exactly 30 feet away from this gigantic, massive, towering skeleton.
Look at how big
Is
its
it-
feet are.
Is it wearing any armor or jewelry? Is it just a skeleton or does it have anything?
Why don't you make a perception check for me?
That's a 22.
So, whatever it's wearing has been on it since it died, which you can imagine is maybe a century. It's very old. As you approach Kendall in the dark, you can still see that it was once upon a time wearing very ornate clothes. These clothes have degraded over time. Although you notice certain things about it, there are runes over a sash around its chest, around its neck, going down its chest, and there are runes embedded on that. Even though the cloth of the sash has begun to deteriorate, the runes are still very much in place. And these runes, because you speak giant, you would know that it's essentially almost like a tapestry. The way a tapestry or a mosaic tells a story, these runes tell the story of a great king. A king of storms, a king of the giants, a mighty dragon slayer, who is beloved by his people and would be known as the last giant king.
I put both my hands at my side and I scream in giant, "Hello, Your Highness!" And I whisper down to Dev, "Hey, I just said hello, Your Highness."
Oh,
Felix is.
that's so cool. Can you say something else to it?
Here. And then you know what?
Tell him he has good bone structure.
Here. And then I whisper into Dev's ear how to say it in giant, and I say, "Go ahead, do it."
I repeat it. What
Make an
did you have me
intelligence check,
say?
Devereaux.
Oof. Oh no. That's a 9.
Kendall, you hear him shout, "That's a really nice bone."
No, Dev, no.
What? I said
No.
what you told me to say.
No, you said it. Okay, you see, when you said this, you had to say this, and now say it like this.
Oh. Okay. How about you just say it?
You have very nice bone structure.
Make a persuasion check, Kendall. With advantage.
Okay, that was a 19.
Okay. Deborah and Kendall, the two of you watch as the giant's hands, which rest on the arms of the throne, the sinew and tendon holding the bones together, long past this creature's prime, begin to twitch. You notice its head turn a little bit. Lidless eyes that are just empty sockets now, seemingly focusing on you. Thank you.
Your Highness, it's a pleasure to meet you. My name is Kendall from the Evertree Grove. And this is my friend Devereaux. Devereaux, what's your last name?
What are you saying?
Quick, the answer to my question.
Thistlebrook.
Devereaux the mighty and stout Thistlebrook.
I feel like you said a lot of extra words in the middle there.
I was just translating it in giant. You know, it's longer and bigger sentences, you know?
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Wait, did the skeleton just talk to us?
Oh, yeah, it said thank you. That's how you say thank you in giant.
Carrie, I think I heard that thing talk.
He liked your compliment.
Do you
I
think
don't-
he's serious?
I don't know what they're saying, but I'm concerned.
I have no idea what he said, but that thing talked.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's go closer, I guess.
I'll do
Here,
it, but I don't want to.
Everybody on your knee and bow.
Neither do I.
That's a king. This is a king. Give him your biggest bow. And I bow super deep. I almost touch my forehead to the floor.
Okay.
Rushing up, I stop a few feet behind them, and I too bow because I don't know what else to do.
Yeah, I'll follow suit.
Hey, Kendall, why are we bowing? Why did this answer you?
Yeah. His name is the Storm something. The king of storms.
Okay.
Hold on, let
Well-
me introduce you. Hold on.
God.
Hold on. Your Highness, this is Salix, Evertree, my sister. And here is Kiri.
Okay, Kendall, can we go?
Once
Do
more.
we
Hey,
need to do something
Salix,
here?
Salix, do you know Kiri's last name?
I don't. But you know,
gotta ask him.
you could also ask them because they're right here. But
I don't want them to know I forgot. Your Highness, this is Kiri.
Curie of the Feywild.
Kiri the Faithful.
God.
After a very long silence from this undead giant, its head tilts a little bit more, chin tucking, as if it's surveying you. And in giant it says, "What are you all called?"
My name is Kendall Evertree. This
What
is
did it say,
Salix
Fuzzy?
Evertree. Salix, hold on. It's asking for our names again. I don't think it heard.
What did it say?
It's asking for our names.
Did you just say it? Our names?
Oh, I think it knows.
I'm
I
pretty
think he
sure-
knows that Kiri's last name isn't the Faithful. Kiri, this is important. What's your last name?
You're muted, Alex.
Is it really though? I mean, you just gave our names.
No, but I think the ears rotted off and it's harder to hear.
You don't
Quick,
actually need
he's a
external ears to hear.
He's a king. You don't keep kings waiting.
He's also dead,
Hey,
and I'm mildly concerned.
that's a little rude. This is Kiri. And Devereaux Thistlebrook. Let's see if I can get it this time.
You said it differently the second time.
This is Devereaux, the mighty and stout Thistlebrook. No, I didn't.
See, you said it differently again. Are you sure you're okay? Do you think the king's hard of hearing?
I honestly thought he was all dead, but apparently not. So can we go?
As soon as you say this, Salix, this creature leans forward in his throne. Dust falls from its bones as it clasps both of its hands together and looks down upon you, elbows on each arm. And in common, says, "What are you all called?"
Well, I've tried. It's your turn.
I think he means as a group. We haven't actually gotten that far yet.
Wait, hold on. We can do this. There's 4 of us. We're pretty great. Fabulous. Fantastic. Fearsome.
Foursome?
Well, I think I like fantastic. What do you think?
Fantastic Four?
No,
That just
that'll
seems
never
a bit
work. That's a
derivative.
terrible name. Why would anybody stoop to calling themselves something so pompous?
Well, that hurt.
Well, I thought it was a great thought.
Thanks, Dev. You get me.
It's just a little presumptuous. I mean, I've almost died like 3 times in the past 2 days. I don't really feel that fantastic.
I get a little bit closer to Salix and I whisper so only she can hear me. I was like, you really want to do this right now? In front of the king?
I think he might be very patient. Seeing
Hey,
as
you know
how
what?
he's been sitting here for at least a century after he died.
I think you may be right. Well, I tried.
I'm gonna sort of gesture to everyone in the group. I mean, are we ready? Are we ready for that level of commitment anyway, though? I'm just not so sure.
This does seem awfully put on the spot.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we've barely gotten to know each other yet.
It just seems so early to start putting labels on things.
Ugh. And Kendall grabs his heart a little bit. Ugh. Kiri.
I punch you in your arm.
Just stop it.
Well, it doesn't have to be a commitment, Kiri. Just say something to the king.
I vote. I hold up my hand. I'm hung up on that 4. How about the wholesome foursome?
I like wholesome. Wholesome's good.
I put my hand
Maybe-
on Devereaux's
maybe
shoulder
the-
and I say, I love that.
I was gonna say we're very friendly. Maybe the friendly 4.
We're
What
all
about,
on
like-
the same wavelength, right?
What
right
about-
now.
What about Kenny E and the Funky Bunch?
Once again, what's with these names? Who's Kenny?
Wait,
Me!
And why are we funky?
Funny? Friendly.
I mean,
You know,
no offense to our host, but like, Why does he want to know this? This information doesn't even exist. I just don't know.
Gary, it's because we won his challenges. It's
That's
an honor.
true.
He wants to know our name.
Is there a leaderboard?
I'll ask him.
He
Wait,
can
no, you can ask him. He
understand
speaks common.
Is this for a leaderboard?
Something like that.
Yeah, so, anybody? Can we get back to you on that?
The king sits up straight, places his arms back on the armrest, leans back, lets his head tilt to the side, and is still.
Oh no, we killed him again.
No, I think he's just waiting patiently for us to come back with a name.
Are you asleep?
What about the champions of Dragon Chess? Because we did so good.
One game usually doesn't make you a champion.
Yeah, we did too. So
Well,
therefore
we did too,
we are.
and we won both.
And we got the blankets to prove it.
I suppose so.
I got it. What's your favorite animals, Salix?
Oh, that's really hard, actually. Well, because there's so many cool animals, and they're all different and wonderful for their own reasons. Because like sometimes you're feeling more like a wolf, and you got your wolf pack. Hey, we're a good wolf pack. But sometimes the angry bear comes out too, and sometimes you're sneaky through the forest like a tiger, or sometimes you're as excitable as a squirrel. So there's all sorts of reasons to pick different animals.
Also, you have to know which animals are good to talk to and when it's good to talk to them, and and plus they're all different, really. I mean, it's so hard. It's like saying, what's your favorite elf? It's just, they're people too.
You hear from on high. This place is called Lagmore. I will call you the champions of Lagmore. Return
Ooh.
when you find your name, and I will give you your final treasure.
You see what happens, Salix?
Is it the friends we make along the way?
No, it's got to be more blankets.
I mean, the friendship's just a bonus, but the blankets. I'm thinking it's the blankets.
Maybe it's commitment. Am I right, Kiri?
Yeah, but what if it's not, though?
Lagmore.
What's that mean in
champion.
giant?
It means more lag,
It means home.
I think.
Kendall, Lagmore and giant means home.
But in more literal terms, it means home.
I like that better.
Well,
the home champions is pretty cool. The Lagmore 4 is cool too.
What about the lag for?
I don't feel like that's very catchy.
Didn't like that one. Okay, let's try again.
How about we just, come back to this?
Sure. So anything else now that we've explored the Skeleton King?
Oh,
Giant
hold on.
King?
We should probably thank him. Oh, I bow and I say, "Thank you, King. The Lagmore champions of Lagmore champions. Thank you."
If an undead giant skeleton could sigh, it would. But you get no acknowledgement.
We'll be back though with a better name. You wait here.
The skeleton seems to have gone inert.
Killed him.
I think he's just sleeping.
It's just resting. We should probably, vacate so he can get some good rest.
Before we get any more quiz questions from the deceased.
Oh, hey, I've got a riddle for you.
What's that?
What's the one question you can never answer yes to?
I don't know. What is it?
Are you sleeping?
That
That's
was
good. I like
so funny. Let's go.
Thanks.
It's a riddle. It's not supposed to be funny.
That was so good. I was never good at riddles.
I know, that's why I asked someone else.
Oops. So, now that we're leaving home, where do you want to go?
Check your web captioner.
Well, actually, Dev, what's north-ish or what's the closest city, I guess?
That's an excellent question.
Well, you have your handy map there.
Oh yeah. I reach into my bag and pull out my map and look at it. It's all blank because I haven't been up that way yet. I have no idea.
Well, we could always go find out. Isn't that one of the things you said you wanted to do, Kendall? And
Yes, always.
yeah, Kiri, do you have anywhere in particular you'd rather go?
No, not in particular. I'm not quite sure I could do this today, but maybe tomorrow when we're all rested up, I could try something to see. Well, if we haven't found a city by then.
Okay, so maybe and I look at the map and I say, let's go that way.
First, we have to climb up the stairs.
Yeah, that's gonna be a lot harder than getting down, isn't it?
Never think of that at the top, do you?
No, don't.
This will be fun.
No time like the present, and I just start walking.
And I'm walking right behind Dev.
Follow.
Yeah, same. With that exact energy.
Salix, can you check your web captioner for me, please?
You were quiet.
What? Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Salix, check your web captioner for me. All right, everybody go ahead and give me an athletics check. Let's see what it looks like.
Kendall got a 12.
Somehow it decided not to
There you go.
broadcast anymore.
It's
So
working.
there we go.
Dirty 20 for me.
Okay.
Which we were making, I'm sorry.
Athletics.
Hey.
It's a 15.
I got an 8.
Salix, what does this look like as everybody else deftly scales these massive steps?
Between my still healing scar and a little bit of a deflation from my normal being good at everything, I, start trying to climb up, and I'm just getting frustrated as I'm struggling up the first stair. I stop every couple feet or so and kind of hold my chest a little and just kind of curse under my breath, and then continue trying again. Keep my hands slip off of the handholds that everybody else seems to take quite easily.
I go back a couple stairs until I meet my sister and make sure to help her and lift her up and do anything I can to help her get up the stairs together.
Okay.
To go down these stupid stairs.
It's definitely a lot easier going down, huh?
Yeah, well, not everybody is great at stair climbers like you.
Hey, thanks. Let me help you.
Okay.
It's only a couple more 30, but it'll be over soon.
I still have rope.
That would be helpful.
Great. I tie it around my waist and I throw the rest of it down for you.
You realize Salix probably weighs twice what you weigh, right? Okay, cool. Just awesome.
It's
So-
okay. I got it.
I start pulling on the rope to
Devereaux, make a strength
Okay.
check.
Oh no. Oh, I rolled a 14, so that's a 13.
Salix, you're pretty surprised that this little halfling is able to pull you up, but they do.
Oh, thank you, Zev. That was a lot easier. I was kind of sure you were going to end up coming flying off the top of that stair, but I'm glad you didn't.
Me too.
That's what I thought was going to happen.
Yeah.
Man. Kendall, did you think I could do it?
Of course I did. Are you kidding me?
Good, that makes one of us.
Hey, somebody has to.
It
You know what,
takes
Dev? I believe in you.
It takes you all the better part of an hour to make your way all of the way up the stairs. And by the time you exit, you realize that you probably have about 4 or 5 hours left of sunlight.
Perfect.
Hey, it looks like dinner time.
Yeah, now would be a great time to stop and eat.
We should probably make it a little bit further today. We kind of spent all day here.
And it was
Not
a
to
lot of
mention-
fun.
It was. You're not wrong. But we should probably try to walk a bit and maybe, start camping somewhere less open. We're very visible next to this giant ruin.
And I'll keep an ear out for food.
Kendall, because you are a ranger, it's no issue for all of you finding something to eat. You're able to scavenge and forage for all 4 of you pretty easily. What now?
What do we find to eat?
What do you find to eat?
Let me see. Hold on. Found a turkey.
There you go.
It's a big bird.
For a big appetite.
Here, I'll help you pluck it, Salix.
And I'll watch.
I knew you would.
Salix had already started angrily just pulling feathers out of the bird.
And y'all are standing
Hey.
near this big giant. You're staying near Lagmore.
How far away would we have traveled? Maybe like 30 minutes or an hour or so?
To find what you found, it probably would take you 10-15 minutes. So.
Would you all like to eat here, or I can pluck this on the way?
I think Kiri wanted to keep moving, so...
Is this place like vaguely wooded, or is it still really open?
Vaguely wooded. Yes.
Okay.
The afternoon sunlight filters through these pine trees, these evergreens.
I think this should be fine.
Okay.
Works for me.
Kendall, was there something that you wanted to do?
Yes. I want to detect portal.
Okay. This is the first time that you're doing this, am I correct?
Very correct.
Okay. What do you think this looks like?
Hey, I'm gonna go get us some firewood, okay? I'll be back.
I will take
Sure.
back over plucking the turkey, once again angrily sitting in front of the fire, just pulling out feathers.
Did you
I,
want some help?
I'm just gonna get firewood. I'll be back real soon, I promise.
So that's a no. Okay.
I mean, you're your own person, Dev. You're welcome to come.
Oh, you sound just like Mother. Okay. And I follow behind.
I walk through the woods, picking up dead twigs and things of the sort. And as I'm walking by all the trees, I'll say, "Thank you, thank you, thank you." Oh, I'll put this to good use. Thank you so much. Oh, these are some big ones. Yep.
Kendall, are you thanking the trees?
Of course, I'm thanking the trees. You just take things.
What? Well, I mean, they're giving them freely.
No, they're not. They're sitting right at the base of the tree of themselves.
Yeah, they dropped them. If I drop something, it's because I don't want it anymore.
Well, I mean, if you dropped your map, could I just take it without asking?
Well, not if I wasn't done with it.
How do
But
you
if
know
I
you're done with it?
discarded it, I suppose you could.
Well, because Salix isn't here to tell me if they discarded them or not, I'm just gonna be safe and thank them. Wait, Dev, hold on.
Yeah.
Do you feel that? Here, hold on to these. Don't move.
I do want to point out that I have not been gathering any wood the whole time I've been following you.
I think I feel. And I put one of my hands up to grab one of the handles of my short swords. This feels, and I start walking away, but I say, Dev, I think you should go back. I'll meet you soon.
No. I drop all the wood. What are you doing and where are you going? And why is your hand on your sword?
Don't you feel that? Don't you feel this? Don't you
Feel
It's
what?
it's like walking through water. I'm gagging on. I'm breathing. You're not.
It's just forest air. It smells a little rotten, but nothing out of the ordinary. Are you feeling okay?
Dev, close your eyes and feel the air. The pressure, the air is pressing against my shoulders and it's coming from. And I look around.
I got my eyes closed. I don't feel anything.
It's vibrating. I can't explain it. It's calling my name, I think.
What
What?
is?
I don't know.
I'm gonna ask again. And I open one eye. Are you feeling okay?
I feel like I'm being pulled.
Okay, which way?
And without answering them, I kind of start slowly shifting and walking in whatever direction it's pulling me.
Hey,
North.
come on now. You can't just ignore me. And I like grab onto your sleeve and keep walking behind you.
Kendall, the closer that you get, the more precisely you are able to locate or to determine this location of this force that is pulling on you. It's about a 30-minute walk north. Would you like to keep going?
Dev, I have to tell you something.
Uh-huh.
I had a dream last night. Or I was gone last night. Or I don't know exactly, but I wasn't at home with you. I saw the world ripped open and I saw you and Kiri and Salix devoured by something. The fabric of reality was ripped and things I've never even heard of were coming out of them. And it called my name and it said, "Will you protect those you love?" Or something like that. You know, I'm not great with memory. But looking back at the three of you, there was only one answer. And here it is calling. It's not a coincidence. So whether you want to come with me right now or not, I have to go. And if you don't come with me, I would like you to get my sister. And I pull out my short sword and I get to the nearest tree and I put one hand on it and I say, "I'll need your help, but my sister can fix this." And I carve a K into the tree. And I say, "Dev, meet me here."
When?
As soon as you possibly can.
Well, if you're gonna be here, why don't you just come back with me and then we can get everyone and go together?
I want to, but it's pulling even harder now.
I'm not that fast.
I trust in you, Dev.
Gods. Okay. Okay, I can do this. And don't do anything silly. And Leave a trail? Please?
Of course. And then I put my hands on one hand on Dev's shoulder, and I say, "Be careful out there." And I cast protection from good and evil, or evil and good.
Okay. I turn and I grab a whole mess of the sticks that I dropped, and I just start like putting them in the ground face up so that I can try and follow them back. And I go as quickly as I can towards camp.
Okay. Kendall, what do you do?
I put my short sword in my left hand, or in my right hand, and I pull out a dagger with my left hand. And every tree, ever so often, I'll ask it for thanking it for its help and that my sister will help it. And I carve a K into it as I walk closer and closer to whatever's pulling me.
Okay. So as far as timing goes, you're about 15 minutes from camp. Meaning that Devereaux, it will take you 15 minutes to get there, and it will take you all 15 minutes to get back to where Kendall promised. Kendall, it will take you that full 30 minutes to get to where you're going. So, for the first 15 minutes, let's go to Devereaux. You make your way back to camp. Salix, Kira, you see your friend return without Kendall.
I am panicked. Salix! Salix! Oh, you're making great work on that turkey.
Yeah, well, I've finished fucking it now, so next I guess I gotta start cutting it up for different parts. Do you think that you'll want a wing or a drumstick?
Dev, are you okay?
Oh.
I really want a drumstick, but that's neither here nor there right now. It's your brother. Your brother needs your help.
Okay, where?
Like right now.
Why?
And I just drop the turkey next to the fire.
Like, okay, where'd he go?
I put my hands on my hips. I made a trail so that I could get back to where he was.
Great. Okay. Obviously it was this way, so let's go.
And I pick up my spear and my pack. Because last time we separated, things were a little bit harder to get back to.
Oh, here. Take the turkey, just in case.
Okay.
Okay, good. All right. Let's go.
Kira, you should come too.
Yeah, okay. What exactly happened to Kendall?
He said something about having a hard time breathing and feeling like he's being pulled towards something. And then he walked away and said that he saw visions of all of us being torn apart.
I immediately start running at that, back the way
But
came.
I didn't finish yet, and I'm holding the turkey out in front of me as I start running behind you. He said something about, oh man, she's really fast. Okay. Just follow the sticks.
Kendall.
I will do that.
Kendall. The
Yes.
air is thickening. You feel your heart beat in your ears, at your fingertips. Tell me how you're moving. You still have each a weapon in each hand. Describe your movements for me.
Yeah, just the dagger with like the point down, so I can keep carving the K's, and then the short sword up. But as I'm crouching, kind of getting closer and closer, and taking slower breaths, to counteract the thicker air that I feel, I put my short sword away, and then I put my dagger away, and then I pull my longbow out, and I get my quiver ready.
Are you moving?
And this is when I stop putting my carving the K's into the trees.
Okay, I need 2 things from you. The first is a stealth check. You do have 2 advantages in a crit, just to let you know.
Stealth check is a 20.
Okay, you feel pretty hidden. And a perception check.
Perception. Okay. 16.
Okay. Now, you continue to get closer. Heartbeat grows louder in your ears. And you feel it getting closer and closer. And then everything is silent. You pass one final massive fir tree and you look around it and you see, in the very center of a massive clearing, 6 stones arranged, all glowing with red runes. Remind me the languages you speak?
Elvish, giant, and halfling.
Okay. You don't recognize the language that these runes are written in. But you see a dark red crimson portal. A tear in the fabric of reality. Swirling with dark energy. The leaves and the needles around the ground fluttering. Somehow, even though it's late afternoon, darkness seems to be pouring from this portal. As if it's sucking in the light near it. With that 16 perception, you also see creatures. 3 of them. These creatures are smaller than you are. They're considered small, and they have these massive, leathery, tattered wings, long spined tails, and possibly long arms that end in sharp talons, and they each seem to be carrying this dark obsidian pitchfork. They flutter around this portal, calling out in almost bird-like, birds of prey-like, chittering. You finally get a glimpse at their face, which comes to a point, jagged teeth coming in and out, and beady red eyes, spines fling backwards from its head, maybe 2 or 3 feet behind them, and then their spine, a trail of spines all the way down their spine. Excuse my spines. So many spines, and down their tail. And they flutter around, circling like buzzards around this portal, looking around. You sense that they are looking out, glancing around, as if maybe they're searching for something. But they don't seem to see you yet. What do you do?
So you said there was 6 stones with runes on it?
There are.
How big are the stones?
The stones are about this big.
Like a boulder that an elf may be able to pick up?
Yeah.
Okay. So as soon as I see these creatures, I run behind a tree so they can't see me.
Okay.
And I look around for my surroundings for maybe like a rock.
Okay.
But I change my mind and I put it back down. I grab one of my arrows and I pull the arrow head off of it. And I want to shoot an arrow, not at any of the creatures, but past them as far as I possibly can on the opposite end of where I am, on the other side of the portal.
Okay. You quickly dismantle one of your arrows. Make an attack roll for me.
That's actually a 26.
Damn.
It was a natural 20 plus the 6.
Oh, was it a natural 20?
Yeah, it was a
Nice.
20 and then plus the 6 my hit
You
DC.
fire this arrow, and it's one of the best shots you've ever made. The fletching flutters past your face, soaring over these creatures and farther into the woods, almost, I would say, 150 feet. And it clatters. These creatures call out, "Ah!" and glance at each other, speaking in this chittering sound language to each other again, and two of them fly off. One of them continues to circle. What do you do?
Hold on, I gotta figure out the name of it. So as a bonus action, I'm gonna choose that creature. Is it within 30 feet of me?
I would say it's about 45 feet away from you at this current moment.
So then my next move is to jump from, like, not from tree to tree, but like from behind the tree to another tree to get as close as I can.
I will say the
So
current tree that you are at is about as close as you can get without exposing yourself.
Okay, so then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna step out behind the tree and ready my arrow.
You're muted.
I'm gonna wait until it gets close enough. I want it to see me. I want it to see me, and I want it to
Sorry,
like.
you muted halfway through, so I didn't catch
Okay, I'm
all
so
of it.
sorry. Okay, so I wanna get my arrow ready and knock it into my bow, and I'm gonna step behind the tree to just stand there, and wait for it to see me. And I want it to get within 30 feet of me, and I want to cast Planar Warrior.
Okay. You step
No,
out.
I guess it's
You step out, bow ready. And I'm gonna need you to roll initiative.
15.
Okay. Salix, Kiri, and Devereaux. I take it you are all running. Okay, I'm gonna get initiative rolls from each of you as well. What'd you get, Salix?
21.
Okay. Kiri?
Natural 20 -1 for 19.
Dev? 4? Okay. Salix, your heart, you feel your heart pounding in your chest as you begin to run forward, dashing like mad to protect your sibling. Now, we're gonna fudge time a little bit. You have about, let's see, there's 6 seconds in a round. You have about 4 rounds until you're gonna get to where you need to. But as we slow and come to this initiative roll, you can start to hear the cawing. And you feel as though you're close. Kiri, you're not far behind. Devereaux, you feel pretty far behind.
Yeah, my speed's 35 and I've just been running.
Yep.
But I am paying attention to see if I can see his marks.
Okay.
Because we have it.
Yeah.
And every time I see one, normally I would Druidcraft the bark back over.
Sure.
This time I touch the tree and say, "Sorry, I'll be back later. Sorry, I'll be back later. Sorry, I'll be back later."
So as you go to do that, time begins to slow for you. You feel your legs are heavier. The trees are taller. The leaves are brighter. Everything is so much more all of a sudden. You feel as though the forest is threatening to consume you, but also filling you up. And even though you're not casting Druidcraft as you touch the tree, by the third one you look behind you and you see a bright green light as your tattoos light up. And the trees are healed. And the entire tree brightens for just a moment. Each step you take, the forest seems to be pulling towards you, as if each step you see a vine reach, not to slow you down, but encouraging. Suddenly you hear everything around you, from the sounds of birds cawing, rabbits running miles away, all the way to the tiniest details of termites crawling up the trees. And for a moment, you feel everything come to a stop. You see your brother ahead of you, bow poised and ready to go. You're not close enough yet. You're still about 4 rounds away, but you, through some unearthly vision, and you feel, once again, everything comes back, time comes back to normal, and you're running even faster. You get a level up in Druid, please.
Thank you. That was beautiful, by the way.
You're welcome. Kendall,
Yes.
this creature notices you, and you feel as though, even though you are getting ready and you are getting as fast as you can, this creature is a little faster. It lets out a call. Ah! Flapping its leathery wings, you hear this slap against the air as it begins to dive bomb straight towards you, leaving the portal unprotected. It's going to make 2 attacks at you. One with its bite. It's going to make 3 attacks against you. One with its bite, and then it's going to spin around and make 2 tail attacks. Okay. The first is a 6 to hit. The second is a 7 to hit. And the third is a 19 to hit.
The 19 hits.
Okay. As you deftly dodge out of the way of these first 2 blows, it seems to be studying your movement. It's definitely an intelligent creature. Its tail comes around and wraps around your waist. You feel the spines penetrate through your armor. You're going to take 4 points of piercing damage, and then all of a sudden everything glows white hot as you take an additional 3 points of fire damage.
Okay.
And then it flies up. Actually, no, it stays. It stays in melee with you. And you see it's beginning to bring its fork down and is getting ready for its next attack. That makes it your turn.
Okay. So I'll is dropping my longbow and pulling out a short sword, does that count as a
Dropping it,
bonus?
free action. Pulling it out, also free action. You can do both in the same turn. As long as you're not
Okay.
trying to, like, put it to stow it. But if you just drop it on the ground, that's fine.
Okay, so I'm gonna do that. Pull out my short swords, and as my bonus action, I'm going to use the Planar Warrior on it,
Okay.
and I'm gonna swing with it
Okay.
with one of my short swords.
Okay. Go ahead and roll for an attack.
Makes it a 14.
That hits. What does it look like?
See how much damage that is.
You're muted, Kendall.
Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. I need to get my tablet from my sheet. So I hit it with my short sword.
Mhm.
because of my bonus action of Planar Warrior, I get the force attack.
Yep.
And or it becomes force damage. So I do 8 damage total.
8 total.
Oh, I'm sorry, 9, because it was a 1 plus 2 and then another 6. So 9 damage, and it takes 9 damage.
It's gonna take. You feel as if you are pulling directly from this portal. The force, the sheer force that's required to rip open this tear in space. You pull towards it. You see the portal begin to shudder for a second, almost wink at you as you pull its energy. And you feel your sword, which is usually it's very sharp. You keep it quite sharp. But the blades seem to dull with this energy. As you swing this attack, it collides into this creature's side, and you hear several bones crack under the sheer force. You said 9 points?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. You feel as though, even though this damage... Oh, it's force damage. Fuck yeah. Okay. You feel as though if you had attacked it normally, it might not have had as much of an effect as you wanted, but because this is force damage, it seems to be doing exactly what you want it to. Yeah, 1 second. Okay. Salix, Kiri, Devereaux, you're still around behind, or you're still behind, you're still running. Is there anything that you would like to prepare while you're running?
Can I actually slow down for a bit?
Mm-hmm.
I want to let Dev catch up, and I will phase step him 30 feet forward as part of the Eladrin ability type thing.
Okay.
Yep.
Will that put him next to me, actually?
Yes.
I think so, yeah.
As I was actually just about to slow down, realizing that Dev does not move as fast as we do. And as soon as they pop up next to me, I say, "Oh, perfect. What are the words? May the breeze enhance your steps." And magic courses down my tattoos, and I cast Long Strider on Dev. So you have an additional 10 feet of movement. For
a minute.
And 1 hour, no concentration.
There we go. It is concentration or it is not?
It is not
It's
concentration.
beautiful. God, I love those spells. Okay.
Yes, me too.
I run like a normal person now.
You can keep up with Salix now.
Devereaux, what does this look like?
As I'm running, I don't move any faster. Like, my feet don't move any faster, but I almost look like I hover slightly above the ground as I stride. And I'm still holding the turkey.
Beautiful. Okay. This brings it back to this creature's turn. It's going to make another bite attack and then a fork attack on you, Kendall. That's a 4 to hit and a 17 to hit.
The 17 hits.
Okay. Its fork is actually going to pierce your shoulder just a bit for 3 points of piercing damage. And from behind, back in the back, you hear more cawing, more screeching from the other two. It's your turn.
I'm gonna reach into my bag and pull out some water.
Okay.
And I'm gonna whisper to it, "I bless you." And then I take a swig of it, and then I drop it to the floor, and I kind of just grab my neck and I go, "It's go time!" And I cast protection from evil and good on myself.
Is protection of evil from evil and good concentration?
It is, yes, up to 10 minutes.
Okay. All right, that's your bonus act, or that's your action.
It's my action, yeah.
All right. Any
This
bonus
creature still
action?
close to me or no?
Is what?
Is this creature still close to me?
It's within melee.
Yeah, within melee. Then as my bonus action, I will... Wait, hold on. Yeah, I'd have 2 weapon fighting. Okay, so as my bonus action, I'll swing with my short sword on it again.
Okay. You're muted.
17?
That hits.
Okay. So that's a 6 plus 5 plus 2, so 13.
13
Damn.
points of force damage. How do you want to do this?
So I want to pull... Is that pitchfork still in my chest, or did
yeah,
he
it's
pull
in
it
your
out?
shoulder.
Yeah, so I pull that out with one hand, the hand that I had just drinking my my holy water with, and I pull that out and I throw that on the floor, and then like as a reflex I come back and I bring my sword with my right hand over onto its neck.
Okay. With sheer force damage, this creature has been slain as your sword comes and absolutely cracks its vertebrae. It lets out a terrible cry, which all of you can hear as it falls to the ground. Kendall, you still have this, its spear kind of sticking out of your shoulder, and the weight of it pulls it down. It's got a like a 10-foot reach, so it's pretty long. Oh, that's right, you pulled it out. It's fine. Never mind. Okay. And that's when you see the other 2 devils appear. And that's their turn. All right, that brings us to the second round. You all still have 2 more rounds to go.
Oof. Good job, Kendall.
All right,
How
Kendall.
far away exactly are we? Because I also have a longbow, and that's as soon as I know that he's close by, I would start readying myself to shoot if I can.
So, because you're 2 rounds away and you're moving using your action and your movement to run, that's what I was assuming. So it's 60. It's about 150 feet that you are from Kendall. You cannot see the creatures he's currently fighting.
Cool. Well, I knowing that I'm close, I will take my longbow from across my back and start readying arrows.
Perfect. All right, Kendall. They are across the clearing from you, so they're about 60 feet away, and they definitely see you. What are you gonna do?
I'm going to sheath my my short sword and pick up my longbow,
Okay.
and I'm gonna
That will be your action because you are sheathing it and not dropping it. Sorry, it's D&D mechanics.
That's fine. So I have a bonus action though, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna concentrate on the one on the left, and I'm gonna cast Hunter's Mark on it.
Okay, so this is gonna drop protection from evil and good because Hunter's Mark is also concentration.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So the one on the left has Hunter's Mark. All right, good to know. Any movement?
Yeah, actually, I'm gonna start like running backwards. Not running, but like start moving backwards. So probably not my full, probably just like 10 feet or so.
Okay. That brings us to their turn. They have a lot of movement. But they can't actually get to you this round. So, well, they can, but they can't do anything once they get there. So you see these creatures fly by, each of them flying one on each side of this portal as they begin to close in on you, and they're able to close in on you, but they are not able to attack you this turn. That brings us to the top of the 3rd round. You'll have 1 more round until y'all get there. Kendall, they are on you. Well, one of them is in melee, and the other one is 10 feet away from you. What are you going to do?
On the same one that I cast, Hunter's Mark, I'm gonna do. Well, it's not within 30 feet of me, I'm not sure, so never mind yet.
They're within 30 feet of you.
Yeah. Okay.
One's within melee, so within 5 feet, and the other one's 10 feet from you.
So I'm gonna choose that same one with my planar warrior ability, and I'm gonna shoot it with an arrow.
Okay. The one that's got Hunter's Mark is within 5 feet of you. It's in melee, so it's technically a disadvantage.
Oh, you said within 5 feet. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm Okay, well, with disadvantage.
Sure. You also have advantages from the chat.
Does that cancel out a disadvantage?
It does.
Then let's use that. Let's go
Beautiful.
for it. It's 13 plus 6, so 19.
That hits.
Hold on. Give me...
As the rest of you are gaining, you can see just outside of the, out of your periphery, you can begin to see what's happening. These massive, as I described earlier, they're not massive. They're technically small, but they look nasty, and they are swarming Kendall.
I will immediately start lining up shots to try to pick them off.
Kendall, what's your
Do I-
damage?
Yeah, let me roll it real quick. 5, 6, 11, 12, 15. 15 damage.
15 points of, and that's force damage because you're
Force
playing a
damage,
warrior.
yeah.
Yes, okay.
Uh-huh.
It lets out a terrible cry of pain, and you see its spines bristle and stand up taller as it is technically bloodied and it is pissed. Did you do any bonus? Would you like to do any bonus actions? I can't hear you.
Oh my goodness. Doing the planar warrior, choose.
You're muted halfway through.
Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. Doing my planar warrior counted as my bonus action, choosing that creature, so I don't have anything left.
Okay. All right. Now, it's going to be their turn. Each of them is going to make two attacks against. Well, the first one's going to make 2. The second one's going to make 3. Oof. Okay, that's a 21 and a 16 to hit you. Did those both hit?
Say 16?
Yes.
16 does hit me, yeah.
All right. So the first one lands. This is the first time one of them has landed a bite on you. It bites that same shoulder that the previous one injured. And that's going to do 5 points of slashing damage. The second one, as it lets go of you, you feel this, its fork pierce your side. You all would see this as well. The fork pierces your side for 3 points of piercing damage.
I am down to 4.
Okay. It's the second one's turn. The second one begins to make its first bite attack on you and actually rolls a dirty 20. That's going to do 5 points of slashing damage. The rest of you see as the first one releases Kendall, he staggers back down to one knee, and the third one goes right for his throat, piercing down and slings him to the side. Kendall, technically you're as far as knee mechanics, you're unconscious, but in my home rules, you're not technically, like, you can still see what's happening.
Alrighty.
And that's the top of the 4th round. Salix, you are up. You are 30 feet from, at the beginning of your turn, you're about 35 feet from the one that knocked your brother unconscious.
Yeah, so that arrow's going, flying straight at it.
Okay, make your attack roll.
Oh yeah, that is a...
Do you have 3 advantages?
Check. Yeah, it's a 30-20.
Okay, that hits.
The hit. And then... Yeah. 9 piercing damage.
Okay. 9, 8, 7, 8, 5, 4. You feel as even though your arrow lands on your target, it pierces through the wing of this creature. You watch it kind of heals back up a little bit. Your damage type does not do as much as you hope it would. Seems to be resistant.
Okay, I'm going to, as I continue my charge straight into it, I'm going to drop the drop the bow and grab my spear again in both hands rather than just kind of slung in the crook of my arm.
Mm-hmm. By the way, everybody now has an instant crit.
Yay!
Let me just get that real quick. All right, that's gonna bring us to Kiri.
Can I reach Kendall with one movement?
Only one movement?
Yeah, all my 30 feet of movement.
Almost, but not quite.
All right. Then I will. Thank you for making this decision for me, by the way. I wasn't sure what to do. I will run up as close as I can get, and because I can't quite reach Kendall, I will. Where did it go? My channel divinity to turn the faithless. As an action, you present your holy symbol, and each fae or fiend within 30 feet of you that can hear you must make a wisdom saving throw or be turned for a minute.
Okay. Wisdom
And
saves?
Yep, DC on that is 13.
Okay. Wisdom. Oh, that's a 12 with advantage?
Yes!
And a 20.
Boom!
So one of them is turned.
Yeah.
What does that do?
It is turned, so... God, I don't think...
What is the
I'm pretty
thing
sure
say?
it doesn't tell you what turned means in this.
I'll find it. Hold on. Is that from your...
Oh, a turned creature must spend its turns trying to move as far away from you as it can. It can't willingly move to a space within 30 feet of you. It can't take reactions. For its action, it can only use dash to try to escape the effect. If there's nowhere to move, it can use the dodge.
Okay.
And it doesn't get saves on each consecutive turn.
Does not or does?
It does not. It only gets unturned when it takes damage.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
I will sort of yell this word in Sylvan, and because it's Sylvan and we're in a forest, I imagine the whole forest sort of like reverberates with the Sylvan word, and that happens.
Yeah. You all see Kiri present their holy symbol. The forest grows a little greener, a little brighter, a little bigger. And one of these creatures lets out a terrified scream as if Kiri has become its worst nightmare. And is it on its turn or it uses its reaction? On its turn? Okay, perfect. Kendall. Oh, any bonus actions for you, Kiri? No?
Yeah, no, I got nothing.
Okay. Kendall, I need you to make your first death saving throw.
Let's do it. Oh, here it is. Hey, it's a 19.
All right, that's one success. You feel life pulled back into you just a little bit as you watch the scene unfold. Okay. Devereaux, you are about, I would say 60 feet away from everyone. What are you going to do?
From everyone and the weird monsters.
Mm-hmm.
And pardon me for asking, but is anyone engaged with the creatures at the moment? Perfect. Okay. While I was running up, can I retroactively indicate I wanted to strap the turkey to my pack?
Yes, you could say that you strapped the turkey to your back.
And drew my longbow.
Definitely, you can say that.
All right. As I'm running, and I get within what I think is a pretty good range, and seeing everyone else taking action, and I know Kiri's running over to help Kendall, so I'll be heading that way shortly after them.
Okay.
I level my bow and knock an arrow, and I think about the pages in the little book that I was given. And as I think of the technique that was listed in the book there, I remember the little mutterings I need to speak as I pull back the bowstring, and as I start to chant a little bit, it pulses some energy into the arrow, and I'm going to unleash a bursting arrow at the pair of the creatures.
Okay.
And hopefully that works.
I'm assuming you make your attack roll.
I would, except you said we all get an instant crit?
You do.
I'm just going to go ahead and use it.
Okay. You double all your dice.
Which is great, because
Or
they're
you
going to
can roll.
take arrow damage and 2d6 force damage each.
Okay. Let's hear that. I need them separate.
Yep. So, first d8. Woo! Ooh, that's a 7, plus my damage is, 3? So, oh, sorry, excuse me. Pardon me, I'm working on it.
No worries.
Oh, I'm so scared. 9 damage with the arrow,
Okay.
and the force damage from the explosion as it hits, and a pulsation of flaming energy just bursts from it is another 6 force damage. So
Okay.
with the crit, that's doubled. And then on the other one, it just takes the force damage. So 2d6 force damage.
Does it get to repeat its saving throw if it takes damage, Kiri?
No, it ends.
Okay.
Ooh. Sorry. It was totally worth it because it takes 3 force damage.
Mhm.
Ooh.
Kiryu watches this arrow pierces the side of the second one that you turned. Its eyes glow bright red, and it looks towards you with a fury. Devereaux, the third and final one, seems to have set its sights on you. Is that your full turn?
That's my action, and I will run towards Kiri and Kendall.
Okay. That brings us to their turn. The second one, the one that was turned, looks at all of you and seems to be weighing its options. The first thing it's going to do is, Kiri, you see it flick its tail, and as it does, it flicks its tail towards you and is going to make 2 tail attacks on you. That's going to be 15. Does that hit?
Miss? Nope.
And
Miss?
20, dirty 20.
That does hit.
Okay, you're gonna take 4 points of piercing damage and 3 points of fire damage as this spike lands in your in your chest, just piercing your armor. It flares to life, and you feel this white hot pain across your chest.
Sure.
It is then going to use its movement, its fly speed, to dash back to the portal.
Ooh,
And you all catch
interesting.
one last glimpse of it as it slides through, disappearing into the ether.
Ooh, that's interesting. I'm still attached to this thing, right?
No. Its spines like come off of its tail and it.
Okay. I was like,
flings them at you.
bad. Okay, that's good.
All right, and the second one, Devereaux. How far are you from it when you made that attack? You said, did you move closer, or you were originally at 60 feet?
You said it was at 60. I moved 35 feet towards
So
my
you're 25
buddies.
feet away from it?
Sure.
Perfect. It's going to fly towards you and make a bite and 2 tail attacks on you. The bite is going to be an 18, and the 2 tail attacks are going to be a 14 and a 9.
The 9 misses.
Okay. As it flies, it catches you in the arm as you've got your arrow knocked. It reaches out and is trying to look almost like as if it is trying to rip your bow from your hands. You're going to take 5 points of slashing damage as it pulls your bracer off of you, flings it to the ground. The second fork is going to come around. I'm sorry, the tail spine is going to come up, and you're going to take 4 points of piercing damage and 3 fire as it lands into your thigh, exploding with fiery radiance. Now, as it does so, because it only used 25 feet of its movement to get to you, it's going to take off away, flying towards the portal. It's going to be able to get 20 feet, which is half of what it needs. It's about 20 feet from the portal now, flying just over Kendall's body. No, past Kendall's body. So it's 20 feet into the clearing. The portal is 40 feet from the clearing.
I would like to take the moment to indicate I didn't fully heal from when I fell off of the table last session, so I am also knocked down.
You're unconscious?
Yeah.
Great. Salix.
Okay, so there's one that already went through the portal.
Yes.
One is about 20 feet from the portal. The other is
Dead.
where?
Dead.
Dead. Okay, great. How far am I from Kendall?
I would say 30 feet from Kendall.
Okay.
Kiri is about 5 feet from Kendall.
How far am I from Dev?
10 feet.
Okay. From my angle, does it look like if I throw my spear at the creature and it misses, will it go into the portal?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Then, I'm actually going to run over to Dev and cast. God, I hate this. I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds on them.
Okay.
You're lucky. You're closer than my brother. I am having faith that Kiri will take care of Kendall. You get 8 hit points back, Dev.
Devereaux, previously your breath was starting to become shallower, as if maybe one of your ribs or two has been broken and is now piercing your lungs. But as Salix lays her hands on you, you feel this magic heal your internal bleeding, and you're able to breathe normally again.
It's gonna be okay. Just hold on, okay?
Thank you.
And I turn ready to run to Kendall.
Okay, Kiri.
Seeing that Salix has healed Dev, I most certainly return the favor. I run over to Kendall, sort of lift his head off of the ground, put one hand over his heart, and just the temperature drops. There's sort of like ice crystals forming on his hair, and I will expend my entire 15-point lay on hands pool on Kendall.
Kendall, you feel yourself. At first, you're terrified because you know that sometimes when people are inching closer to death, they get cold. But Kiri's frigid touch on your heart doesn't bring you closer to death. In fact, the opposite. You feel yourself revitalized.
Gonna be okay.
And that brings us to your turn.
That gave me 15 health?
Yes.
Okay, hold on. Let me... Oh no, I clicked on something wrong. Go back. Okay, actually, I'm going to use my turn to say something. And I say, Kiri, thank you so much. We need to move one of those rocks. I don't know how I know this, but just trust me. Before that thing makes it in there. Can you get it? Can you stop it?
I don't think so.
How far is it right now?
From you, 20 feet.
20 feet?
Mm-hmm.
I'll grab my longbow.
Okay.
Is this is the one that didn't have Hunter's Mark, right?
The Hunter's Mark is faded.
It doesn't matter. I lost concentration. Never mind.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna stand up.
Okay.
And shoot it with an arrow.
Okay. Make your attack roll, please.
Planar war. I'm gonna choose the one creature. Yeah. Okay. So that's 14 plus 6, so 20.
20 does hit. You're doing planar warrior?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
1d8. and 1d8. So 2d8s. That's actually a 12.
12 points of damage.
Force damage, yeah.
Okay. As you fire this shot, once again you feel the portal ripple, pulse, and grow bigger for a moment, and then begin to shrink down as you pull from its energy, the force that's augmenting this part of reality. And instead of coming all the way to you, it's as if it meets your arrow halfway. And you watch as the damage from your arrow and the pulsing energy from the portal collide into this creature. It lets out a terrifying scream, and mid-flight, its wings falter, and it crashes into the ground right in front of the portal. Which means that currently the danger has passed, but we're still staying in initiative for reasons. Which brings us to Dev.
I roll over and look to Salix. Bless you. Gosh, I push myself up, stagger to one knee. Is the beastie still flopping around?
No, it's dead.
It is dead.
Oh, actually, y'all, I just looked at the time. I'm so sorry. So we need to take a very, very quick stream break, and we'll be right back to continue what's happening here.
Okay.
Oh baby, I love your madness. It's so incredibly beautiful. love to play in your fun and your games. Always hungry for more, that's just how I was born. Take me somewhere I don't know and give me your freedom. Whoa, you love me to pieces, yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium, life is so easy. Whoa, you love me to pieces, yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium. The limit of love is endless, I know. Just do what you want with me. Yeah, I want it all. Could care less the cost. I give you my everything. Some would say I'm insane in the right and a way, but I just love to play in your fun and your games. Always hungry for more, that's just how I was born. Take me somewhere I don't know and give me your freedom. Whoa, you love me to pieces, yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium, life is so easy. Whoa, you love me to pieces, yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium. And give me your freedom. Whoa, yeah, to pieces, yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium, life is so easy. Whoa, you love me to pieces, yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium. Oh baby, I love your madness. It's so incredibly beautiful. Oh, you shine like gold, so selfless to all, and wild like an animal. Oh, some would say I'm insane in the right and a way, but I just love to play in your fun and your games. Always hungry for more, that's just how I was born. Take me somewhere I don't know and give me your freedom. Whoa, you love me to pieces, yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium, life is so easy. Whoa, you love me to pieces, yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium. The limit of love is endless, I know. Just do what you want with me. Yeah, I want it all. Could care less the cost. I give you my everything. Some would say I'm insane in the right and a way, but I just love to play in your fun and your games. Always hungry for more, that's just how I was born. Take me somewhere I don't know. Two, one. Welcome back, friends. Now, although these creatures have been slayed, we are technically a little bit still in initiative because things might happen. So,
It was me.
Devereaux. What doing?
So I stagger up, and seeing that the creature is down, I'm gonna run over to Kendall.
Okay. What do you do over at Kendall?
Kendall! And I kind of collapse on the ground next to you. Kendall, you're okay.
Kendall is standing.
Well, I collapse on the ground next to him.
And then when they get to me and they collapse, I fall to my knees and I kind of grab like my shoulder a little bit and I lower my bow and I say, I'm glad that you're doing okay. Thank you so much. You all got here pretty quick.
What do we do?
Something's telling me that we need to close that portal. Somehow.
Somehow, okay.
Yeah, that's what I was worried about too.
Any thoughts?
Okay.
Better do it
so,
quick.
Like I said, we're still in initiative, so.
I know. This is all I'm doing. I'm just moving and doing nothing else.
Okay, so Salix had continued, is going to continue running towards the portal. And what exactly does the portal look like? Does it?
This portal looks like a ripple in time-space. Darkness seems to pour from it. There are 6 glowing, flat, kind of boulderish things around it that are all glowing with crimson runes.
If I can I make my way up to it and try to push one of them or like push it out of the whatever pattern it's in, like just try to disturb whatever circle maybe.
Sure, it doesn't seem to be in a pattern, but you can certainly let me get a strength check from you.
Okay. Oh, that wasn't good. The heck are my strength checks? 10.
Okay, you do have an advantage.
Oh
You
yeah,
have
I'll
3
take
advantages,
that.
which technically means you have 2 crits if you'd like to use them. Or you could just
You
use
know what? I'm gonna take one of my crits.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go ahead and take that crit, and I'm gonna try to like just pick it up and throw it if I can.
Okay. So you pick it up, and as you pick it up, nothing seems to be happening to the portal, but as you chuck it, it crashes into a tree, and the boulder breaks in half, and the seal is broken. You all watch as suddenly the portal, almost as if the portal is screaming, there is a terrible noise, like the terror of 100,000 books all in your ears, deafening. A roaring wind batters each of you, and then the portal vanishes. The runes on the other stones are gone.
When the portal vanishes, I just breathe, just oh man, wow.
You were right about one thing, Kendall.
Wow, I can breathe so much better now.
Your sister took care of it.
I told you I can't do anything without her. Thank you, Salix.
Well, that was one way to do it. Whew, I'm glad that worked. And I go up to the tree and I cast Druidcraft to kind of help mend the bark on it because I assumed that it probably screwed up that tree. I'm so sorry, tree. I thank you so much for being sturdy and for standing strong in the face of this boulder. And thank you.
So, who's hungry?
Me. I raise my hand feebly. Still like sprawled out on the ground. Yeah. I've got the turkey.
You have the bodies of 2 of these creatures near you.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, can I take a look at one of them?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's next order of business. I'm going to save my retribution for my brother for later.
I walk up next to Kiri as well, and I kind of like get on one knee and I don't touch it, but I do inspect it. I ask Kiri, have you seen anything like this before?
Not quite like this, no. Can I attempt to do two things? One, discern anything that is possible to be learned about this creature. And then two, collect some of its tail spikes if it has any left.
Certainly. Why don't you make a religion check?
Religion, alright. I'm good at that. Oh, wait, no, I'm not.
You do have 2
Rude.
advantages and a crit.
That's fine. It's an 8.
You have 2 advantages and a crit.
But what if I need them later? Fine, I'll use an advantage.
There you go.
Oh, that's not better. That's a 10.
Well, technically, that is better.
It's just a little better.
Not functionally better.
Hold on, they're having a hard time hearing me.
Can I, well, actually, I'll wait to see what Camille says. Hold on.
1 second. Oh, everybody else can hear me fine. Okay! So, with that religion check, you would know that these are spined devils.
Okay.
What else would you know about them? You would probably know that they... With a 10? Wait, what was the first one? Is an 8? 8 and 10?
Yeah, an 8 and then a 10.
Okay.
Right.
Would anybody else like to roll as well on this? Salix, you probably would be the most likely to know about these. Although Kendall, I mean, with your subclass, I'll give you the option to roll as well.
Yeah, I wanted to kind of inspect the pitchforks that they're
Sure.
holding.
Sure.
Did you want to roll religion with that one too?
You can roll. Are you proficient in nature at all?
Yes, very.
You can roll nature.
I guess if I'm rolling for religion, I got a 16. If I'm rolling for nature, I got a 19.
Okay.
So
For
probably
nature, I
16.
rolled a 23.
Okay, dang. Okay. So, Kira, yeah, you know that these are spine devils. Now that you see them up close, you've never seen one in person. You've read about them, and now that you are out of the heat of battle, you kind of have a bit of more understanding what these are. Salix and Kendall, you've both heard about these from your elders and your tribe. These are spine devils. You know that they often act as messengers and spies for greater devils and archdevils. They are essentially the eyes and ears of the Nine Hells.
Yikes.
Yep.
And I'm sorry, I think I was cutting out. Did one of them make it back through the portal?
Yes, one of them made it back through the portal.
Okay.
Well, they know this area is at least sparsely populated now. For now. Or a good place to... That
Well-
was bad.
Yeah.
Kendall,
Um.
with that above a 20, you would know
Uh-huh.
that 2 things you could do. First of all, if you are able to successfully harvest the eyes, if you eat them, you can get dark vision out to 60 feet for 10 minutes. That is not impeded by magical darkness. Also, some people craft these into amulets or circles that provide this benefit once a day. The second thing, and you might explain this to Kiri as they're going to look at the spikes, the devil spines, they can be used as darts that deal fire damage instead of piercing damage. They get a +1 bone, or they can be crafted into daggers that deal +1 damage of fire instead of piercing.
So I pull out one of my daggers and I roll one over with my feet and I crouch down under it, and as I start stabbing around the eye sockets to pull out the eyes, I'll tell Salix, well, maybe we should start looking through that book to see if there's any devils. Start looking to see how to kill some devil type gods, because I think we may be getting chased now.
Kendall, go ahead and make me a nature check to harvest these eyes.
19.
Okay. You are able to get...
Actually, would it matter if I used like an instant crit on that?
It would?
Yeah, I'm gonna use one of my crits on that.
Okay. Alright. You are able to get all 4 devil eyes. And would you like to
Okay.
get the tails as well? With that instant crit?
Of course, yeah.
Okay. Then you are able to get 8 plus 8 is 16. You know that if you have 10 of them total, you can use it to make that dagger. So you have 18 devil spines.
Yeah, I mean, I just start harvesting all that, and I put the eyes into a small like leather pouch into another one of my satchels, and then I just start bundling up the spines, and I'll take 10 of them and see if I can put them together into a dagger.
Okay. You're not proficient in smith's tools? Are you?
I don't think I even have this tool, so maybe I'll just put them away.
Yeah, okay.
What are the eyes for, Kendall?
For seeing good.
Well, I don't think they see very well anymore.
They might help if you eat one.
That's odd, but
Or I'll make a necklace. Well, I haven't decided yet.
Sounds gross.
Yeah, that's why I'm putting it away for now.
While Kendall's harvesting, sorry if I might, I'm pulling out a journal and I'm sketching like a picture of what they looked like and what I remember the portal and like the setup was, just so that I can have it for posterity.
Why don't you make a dexterity check to see how good these are?
Oh, goodness. I'm going to roll with advantage because this is
Okay.
important to me. How's an 18 look?
Beautiful. It's one of your better drawings.
This will be one of the first chapters in my epic tale.
Can I use Divine Sense real fast?
Okay. Fiends, undead, celestials, fae? Or no fae?
Yeah, within, oh, no, Fae. Within 60 feet that are not behind total power.
Would you like to substitute one of these for fae? I'll always give you that option. You can always substitute one for fae.
Yeah, I'll switch out Celestial for Fae.
Okay. Kiri's, what do your eyes look like when this happens?
I imagine it's not so much my eyes, it's like this sort of like set of like, I guess like these like dark like tendrils that kind of like slither around on the ground out to that 60-foot radius, just like sort of like rooting around looking for stuff.
These dark wisps kind of emanate from Kiri, from their holy symbol, as you use Divine Sense, and you do not see any of those creatures. You do get you get a faint like trace from the devils that you currently are seeing, but you would know that they are fiends.
Yeah. Well, we're alone for the time being.
Well, Petals, I think you saved us some time. We can probably stay here for a bit, but we should probably leave.
well, I'm a little concerned at exactly how fast they could get another portal going.
I think a really important question is, where did the portal come from?
Well, those were devils, so probably from the one of the 9 hells.
Wait, you're saying a portal from hell just randomly opened here?
Probably not randomly.
Probably definitely not random.
Yeah, the creatures that came out are generally used as spies for the most part, scouts, if you will. So they're
That's why
probably
these are
finding...
so. And I pull the eyes out a little bit and I go, that's why these are so important.
But
what do you...
But the portal was opened here, so somebody obviously had to set it up. Right?
True. And if they figured out that it's closed, they'll probably come back. So we shouldn't be here when they do.
But if we're here when they come back, we can beat them up.
Maybe, but seeing as how you're not looking very well and Kendall here isn't looking very well, and we should probably move on. It would be a little better, at least to get a little far away. maybe rest a little.
Petals, I think that's a great idea. We should definitely rest. And Kiri, thank you so much. I could use a rest, but I do feel a lot better. Your hands are cold.
They do that.
Pussy, I have words for you later. Let's get somewhere safe now. Okay?
And I will look for I will begin looking for a nice, safe seeming place, possibly in like a thicket, like a big thicket where we can just hide and rest.
Okay. It's not hard for you all to find a place to take your ease away from the dangers of this clearing. Kendall, Devereaux, you feel especially beat up, sore, bruised, battered. What are y'all doing?
I will immediately start making a fire and getting the turkey cooked. And then I think I'm gonna kind of scout out around a little bit for any kind of herbs that will help me start to make a healing potion. Because I have an herbalism kit.
You do? Excellent. Yes. Okay.
And we obviously need it, so I will start looking for any herbs that I know go into healing potions.
Would you prefer to make a nature or a survival check to find these?
Let's see. Probably a survival check if I can.
Okay.
And I will use one of my advantages because I still have 3 left since I had an instant crit that I used. Hey, I'm glad I used it. That is a 23 total.
Oh yeah, I'll say with that you find enough to make 2 healing potions.
Perfect. I will spend the rest of my evening very grumpily trying to make a healing potion.
Okay. Why don't you make an herbalism check with your wisdom modifier? So you'll have it's a wisdom check plus proficiency.
Okay.
This is just going to determine. This is not determining your success. This is determining how long it takes.
Once again, I'm going to use another one of my advantages because why the heck not?
Okay.
Hey, also good. Said proficiency in wisdom.
Yes.
So that'll be a 19.
All right. The first one takes you about an hour.
Okay. All right.
During that time, I think I would be trying to haphazardly cook the turkey as best as I can.
Okay.
I will do my best to set up camp. I think the first thing I'll probably do is go through dev stuff and set up their tent and their camp space, and then do mine. And just keep going around.
Okay. Yeah, Kiri, very easy for you. So
I carve up the turkey.
Yeah.
And I grab one of the legs, and then I put the rest of it kind of on leaves on the floor, and I tell everybody, help yourselves. But I grab one of the legs and I walk over to Dev, and I sit next to Dev and I offer them the turkey leg.
Next time, I do have some spices in my pack.
Well, can we use them now?
No, you have to cook them with the spices, otherwise they don't have the same effect.
Well, I don't
It's
understand. I mean, if you
just
have them in
eating
the
grass
first place,
right off of the ground. Well,
I mean, if you have to, I mean, if I've done it before because I had to.
I mean, we've all tasted grass at least once just to see what it's like, but it doesn't mean you have to keep doing it.
Well, I mean, I don't understand if you put the spices on first and you put them on after. They're still there. I mean, there's not a big difference, is it?
Kendall, it's the application of heat and time. It makes it infuse into the meat. Come on. You
Dev,
can't
I
tell
know
me
we've
you've
been
never
through a lot,
tried
but
that.
where was all this advice when I started cooking this turkey?
Well, you know, that's a great question. I really wasn't paying much attention. Can I be like wrapped up in my leather rune blanket
Yeah.
I hope so.
the whole time?
Are you well enough to grab this, or you want me to? And I
No,
kind of
yeah,
just
yeah, and I
I
reach
took it,
out and I snatch it. Thank you.
You two are
So-
Start eating it daintily.
So I kind of brought over a turkey leg for you. Could I ask you a favor?
Oh no. What do you need?
Can I see those drawings that you made that I saw you taking when we were back at that portal?
Well, yeah, just do me a favor and don't read anything beyond those pages. Okay?
Hmm.
It'll ruin the book.
Ruin the book. I like the pictures anyways. Just looking for pictures.
If I see you looking at anything else and I hold the little journal up, I'm going to take it back from you. Okay?
Well, good luck trying to take anything from me when you got to use both hands on that big old turkey leg. And then I grab the book. What page am I looking for? And I just start rifling through it until
Kendall,
I had
you
the
and Devereaux
bookmark.
are having this conversation when each of you hears the crackle of footstep just outside of your camp. The sun has set now, and a figure emerges from the clearing, this small area you are in. This figure is tall, maybe 6'5". They look very, very masculine, very strong jawline, ice blue eyes, long blonde hair that's pulled back into a ponytail at the base of their neck, wearing green and brown studded leather armor, 2 short swords at their side, and a bow sling across their back. I'm looking for who closed that portal. My name is Sentinel.
Bit of a group effort.
I point at Salix.
I stand up from where I just put a cap on the healing potion that I made. You can see the ingredients for the other one next to me.
That would be me.
Are you the Horizon Walker?
No.
Who was it?
I'm still like looking down at the book, and without looking up I said, "Oh yeah, that's me."
He glances over at you, and you see he's not, even though he's armed, he's not like, does not seem to have the intent of causing you any harm. He comes over and extends a hand to you, greeting. Hello.
Hey. Oh, hi.
He's very, very tall. You can barely reach.
Oh. Hold on a second. And I close the book and I stand up and I hand it down to Dev and I shake this person's hand. What brings you here?
I'm looking for you. I'm called the Watcher of the Wildwoods, and I've been away for a short while and unable to fulfill my duties here. I wanted to personally thank you for closing that portal, and I wanted to know who you are.
Oh. The Watcher. What do you want? I'm
The Woods.
I'm Kendall. Oh, you what? The woods? These
Yes.
woods? Hi, I'm Juan. Oops. I'm Kendall. I'm Kendall. Kendall Evertree.
You can call me Sentinel. That's the only name that I No.
Did you come up with that name, or did somebody give it to you? Because
Somebody gave it to me.
oh, okay.
I was raised in these woods.
Okay. Well, this is my sister, Petals. I mean, Salix. This is Salix. Salix. That's Kiri, and this is Dev. If you're hungry, I just cooked a turkey.
I just
It's
ate.
not very good, but
We just have the giblets left.
No.
there's
thank you.
way more than just that here. I mean, it was a pretty big turkey.
Just the giblets.
Kendall, you are only the second other Horizon Walker that I've met outside of my organization.
You keep saying Horizon Walker. What does that mean? I am just that. You just tell people things.
A Horizon Walker is a special type of warrior. We protect the plains. We protect the Order of the Plains. How did you find that portal?
I didn't so much as find it as
It found you.
it pulled me. It called to me. I don't know. I'm used to just doing things without really knowing why, but this was a little bit more direct.
You weren't trained
This-
by another
this-
ranger or another warrior?
I was trained by druids.
We have our own warriors, not quite of the same type.
Sure. Are you aware of the Covenant?
The what?
Never mind. I only wanted to introduce myself and ask you if you plan on staying in these parts.
How about you answer me a question first?
Sure.
And I bend over to Dev and I say, "Hey, can I borrow that book again?"
You're muted.
Dev, or Ren, I think you're muted.
Am I?
Now you're
Did I
you
speak
go.
too quickly?
Yeah.
Sorry. I look at you, Kendall, and I say, "You're not going to show it to him, are you?"
Just the pictures, Dev. Open it up for me. I won't. Come on. He's waiting.
I suppose he's not as patient as the Giant King.
No, this one's alive.
You've been to Logmore.
Oh, and he can
great!
hear us
Now
too.
he's eavesdropping too.
Yeah, now he can hear. He's listening to us too.
I'm standing right.
I hate to tell you, but
here.
everyone can hear you. We're not really that far away.
Fine. I open the book and I flip to the page and I hand it back to Kendall.
So, question number one that you asked, I don't know if we're gonna be here for a while. That really depends on everybody else. Two, not only did we go to Lagmore, but we had a lot of fun there, and we met the king. He's a pretty great guy. And my question is, do you know what these runes say? And I show him the book with the pictures in it.
Of the stones?
Yeah.
I do. That's Infernal. The language of devils.
Oh, the devils. Well, can you read them? Because I kind of guessed that, but I didn't know what this says.
I can read them. It's an incantation for keeping portals open.
Ah.
Someone must have inscribed the runes onto the portals, or onto the stones, and then place them exactly so.
I give the book back to Dev, and then I go, hold on a second, and then I run over to my equipment and I pull out a nice little parchment, and then I start writing down everything that he said.
He'll transcribe them for you, and essentially it's an incantation to summon a portal to let's see, Avernus.
How do you spell that? With a furnace with an F?
Avernus.
Sorry, that was in character. Hey, what else? So you can do this too, huh? So you could feel everything?
I can.
And does that happen a lot?
It's been happening more and more over the last few years.
I get closer to him and I try to lower my voice so that only he can hear me, hopefully. And I kind of like lean in to his chest, closer to, like, I'd assume like the bottom of his like jaw, closer to his ear, and I say, Did you have the dream last night as well?
I don't know what dream you're referring to.
Well, if you're hungry, we have more turkey.
Tell me about this dream.
Yeah, maybe in a bit. I need a rest.
Unfortunately, I cannot stay long. I'm needed southeast of here in the mountains, but
so I sit back down next to Dev, and I look at Salix and I say, Petals, I thought it was just a dream, but I saw something last night. And then I'll just go ahead and say it. I think I left, or I saw something, or I can't explain it, but I wasn't here anymore. I shifted into a bird, into a hawk, or I don't know. It's so weird. I've never experienced anything like that, but I've seen the elders do it. I've seen our friends do it, but I saw this, and I look around and I saw this area. I saw everything, and I saw the sky rip open, and those things that we just killed, they came out and they started destroying things. They started taking things that I care about. And I know you say not to be impulsive, but I saw Dev, I saw Kiri, and I saw you. I saw you get devoured by these things, and then they ripped more and more open and bigger until everything was devoured. And seeing that, there was only one impulse when something or someone or these things asked if I would protect them, and I said yes. And now I can do things, I can feel things impulsively, and now I can't control myself as much. It's worse now. I can't control myself more now than before, and I know you're not going to like that, but I'm not going to let this happen to you all. I just can't.
Sentinel crosses his arms and narrows his gaze at you a little. If you do not learn to control yourself, there will be no one left to protect them from these planar threats. You do realize that, don't you? the more foolhardy you become, the more reckless you become, the more likely you are to become food for these devils, for whatever comes out.
Well, how do you do it?
A lot of training and a lot of practice.
I cross the campsite and get on my knees in front of Kendall, put both hands on each shoulder, and I say, the only way we can survive any of this is when we're together. Haven't you realized that yet? Every time we separate, something bad happens. We need to rely on each other, to trust each other. I've got your back, Fuzzy, just like you have mine. But I can't do that if your back is so far away from me. And Dev and Kiri, they're not going anywhere. We can trust them to be there too. But you have to stay with us. I can only move so fast. So can they. We'll figure out whatever's going on. But we have to stay together.
Your sister is right.
I put my hands on top of her hands, and I say, I know, and I sent Dev for you, but
that's
like
not enough.
I know, but like I told you, I couldn't help it this time. This is all so new to me, and it's not a good excuse. I know, and you know I'll learn from this, and I trust you. I know. So let's figure this out together, and hopefully Mr. Watcher here can help me control some of these things that are new to me.
As I said, I have responsibilities south, so I cannot stay. I would invite you to join me, but I do not wish to take you away from your family here. So, however, I can find you again, if you wish.
It's up to you, but
it is not up to me, it is up to you.
I look at Salix, and then I turn my head over to Kiri, and then over to Dev, and I say,
shall I come back?
Salix looks him up and down, gives a bit of a smirk, and says, anytime.
Kendall says, I have what I need right here.
Make a flirt check. It's a charisma. It's a charisma check. Yup.
Is she proficient though?
You can't be muted for this role. You have to.
Oh gosh, so it's a +0 for my charisma, but I rolled a 19.
Okay. You see this man who this whole time has been very stoic, very kind of not cold, but just emotionally calm. Salix, you see a slight blush cross his very pale skin as he kind of turns to you and looks like he's going to say something and flusters. Oh, I shall return then. In time. Until I do, keep looking for portals. And I think I have something. Hold on one second. He kneels, crouches down, opens it up, and pulls out a small journal, about this big, and hands it over. This is, this will help you learn Infernal. It will take time, especially without a proper instructor, but it's yours.
I grab it and I say, I think I can handle it. And I immediately start looking through it.
It's got the basics, kind of the alphabet, and explains how it came to be and how to read, and common phrases.
I crowd over your shoulder while you're reading it, because I'm also interested.
Yeah, I think all of us are going to end up studying this book.
Sentinel finally turns to Kiri. Greetings, outsider. And he says so without any disrespect. It's more an acknowledgement of where you are from.
Sure. Can people usually tell where I'm from?
No.
Fancy. I nod back at him.
I have a question I must ask.
Of course.
Do you plan to stay on this plane forever?
Forever, no, certainly not.
Okay. That is all I needed to know. Thank you.
Of course.
I must take my leave, but it is a pleasure to meet you all. In this world, there are not a lot of people that you can trust, but there is a group that if you need anything, that they can help you, and they are good. The most notable of this group would be the young bard. Pink hair, bright green eyes, Leona Swiftsilver.
Oh, I know her. She's amazing.
Why
that piques my interest out of my book. Hey, do you know where she's at?
No, it has been a very long time since I've seen her. However, if you see her and her group, she is good and kind, as you, I'm sure, are aware. So. And while you're at it, stay away from... Don't trust people. Myself included. You never know what you're getting into.
Yeah,
Archie and
somebody
I
else
brought
has taught us that too. Not the first time we've heard it.
Good. Lastly, he turns to you, Salix. DM question: are your tattoos visible at all when you're not casting magic?
Yes.
Okay.
They're permanent.
That's right.
Permanent. The only time they change is when I cast magic. They glow green. Other than that, they're a dark bark color, very reminiscent of the leaves of the willow tree.
He gently reaches out, almost as if he's going to touch them, but stops just shy of you. I've never known a Evertree druid to leave the grove.
Well, normally we will go before we bond with the tree, but things are a little different this time, I guess.
I look back at Kendall and I say, I didn't want to be separated from my brother so soon, but I had already taken what the tree had to give, and you know, life is crazy.
That it is. I owe a favor to the Evertrees. You two are able to call upon that, should you ever need. I owe them my life.
Okay. I hope we never have to call on that.
And you're welcome.
As I said, I should go. Though I wish I could stay a little longer. Stay vigilant, all of you. He gives you each a solemn bow, and he leaves your camp.
Oh, he was a great big ball of sunshine, wasn't he?
I don't know. What do you think, Salix?
Really tall.
Oh, good looking too, huh?
Shut up! And I smack you. Well, it's, you know.
Can I get everybody to make either a history or a religion check for me, if you're proficient with either of them?
14.
Kiri? Devereaux?
I'm going to use my advantage.
Okay.
18 is much better than a 1.
Okay. Salix?
Can I use my advantage
I
too?
got a
or-
17.
No, I'm gonna stick with the 14.
Devereaux and Salix, you would recognize him as non-human. Sentinel is an Asmar. Which are known to be descendants of celestial beings. Kendall, you know that he's not quite human, but you don't know quite what he is.
Gotcha.
You know, just because someone's tall doesn't mean that they're capable.
No, definitely not. But well, he was able to find us, and
I lean over to Dev and
You know,
I whisper to him, she means capable of other things.
I'm sure that he was
I-
just following the scent of the turkey. That's what brought him here.
sure, you know, he was just. It's
He didn't even
Okay,
take the
fine. And I
giblets.
go, I sit back and I start putting my, I start grounding up herbs to make my second potion. And I look very, just complete blush.
Give her a couple minutes, she'll be okay.
He seemed boring.
I thought so, but I guess that's not everything.
he was really wise. Okay.
Was he though?
And I start looking at the book again, and I keep reading it. Yeah, real wise. But he knows a lot of things, huh, Salix?
I've got my hands on your shoulders, Kendall, and I'm just like looking at the book over your shoulder, like keeping an eye on Salix and on the book, the pages on the book, the words on the page as well.
I will kind of sit next to Salix and just like while looking at the fire, just like kind of. You changed today, didn't you? Somehow.
Yes. It's odd. There's been a lot today. You know, Kendall's gotten into trouble before, quite a few times. It's kind of his thing back home. But something happened when I was running, and I'm not 100% sure what it was exactly, but it normally when I touch the tree and I remove his mark when I'm tracking him, but I didn't want to take the time to do that this time, you know, because there was something going on, and so I just wanted to get to him, but time slowed down and the trees behind me were healing on their own, and I just felt so connected to everything. And I mean everything at once. And I don't know exactly what to make of it. So I, just started working on these potions because we obviously need them.
Yeah, I think we will.
You seem a little bit more intense than this morning too.
It just devils and things and fighting and a lot of memories.
Yeah. So I've been thinking about what you asked. Killing anything should not be taken lightly. And killing something so powerful can't be easy at all. I think you should at least look at it to see if you're prepared to do what it takes to do whatever you feel like you need to go home. But I want you to really, really consider if maybe the place that you are from and the things that you were doing might not be best for everyone on a whole. It's never so simple as we think, is it? Anything, really.
Never is.
And sometimes our perception of events is changed by our memories. But I can't deny you your key to home. But please just consider what you're doing from all angles before you do it. I know you have your loyalties, and I'm not going to tell you what you should believe or what you should do, because that's not who I am. I only tell Kendall that. But just remember that there are more people than just the people that we love. I will pull the book out from my bag, which is sitting just behind me, and I will hand it to them.
I will take it, and I will not open it for now. Back home, I used to travel people. I wasn't part of the front lines or some large army or anything like that. There were 5 of us. 2 were executed. Not quite sure what happened to one of them. And the other defected. And I'm not sure what would happen if we ever saw each other again. But I understand that this is bigger than me, this is bigger than us, and for all I know, it might be bigger than anything I'll ever be a part of. but it is really complicated. I know that people on this plane, people in general, might have the preconceived notions of what good Fae are and what bad Fae are, and what they look like, and all of those types of things. And that's not really so simple either. I know something like the Queen of Air and Darkness doesn't, to most people, inspire a lot of happy feelings, but she's good. She's good.
Personally, I like air, and darkness can have its uses too. Without darkness, you wouldn't notice the light as much. You wouldn't appreciate it. With air, you can't breathe. That's kind of important. At least for some things. But, entire systems of governments and ways of life are kind of balanced on who happens to be in charge at that time. And that's not necessarily a good thing, but our actions can have farther reaching consequences than we ever realized or knew. Just like cutting down a tree, that tree could have been where a bird was nesting, and now the world has one nest less of birds. Now that might not be a big thing, but the birds go on to eat the berries and spread the seeds further out, and now that's one less thing spreading seeds, allowing other things to grow. It's small, but something.
I'll do my best to be responsible. And if you ever feel the need to stop me, don't hesitate.
I look into your eyes in earnest for the first time during this conversation, because I was head down, just continuing my toil with the herbs. I turn and look at you, and I say, I will do that because I'm your friend. But it's also my duty to protect the land that I have. I hope that those feelings never conflict. But I'll let you know, okay?
Thanks, Alex.
I kind of open my arms for a hug, but not intending, not going to assume that I can take one.
Oh yeah, I'm going right in for the hug.
Okay.
Yeah.
Big ol' Salix hug.
Big ol' hug.
And on that note, that is where we are going to end today's session. As our adventurers find a little bit of peace after a long and stressful day, we will call it a night. Let's go ahead and do our goodbyes, our outros. Go ahead and say anything that you would like to plug, and then your favorite moment of the stream. Salix, do you want to start us off?
Sure. Hi, I was playing Salix today, but I'm really Eris Savad. go figure, your friendly neighborhood Stitch Witch. Just to start out, I make all sorts of geeky accessories made for people who play Dungeons and Dragons or don't play Dungeons and Dragons and just want to hold their stuff. That's always useful, holding stuff. Because you're watching, you can get 10% off my handmade store by using the code O4ABAY. Yep, just like that. You can also find me making stuff randomly throughout the week. This week I'm going to focus on a present for my nieces and my daughter, so I'm changing it up a little bit. It'll be fun to watch. You can catch me on Fridays on twitch.tv/Saevrick, SAEVRICK, where I'm playing a 5e campaign in Planescape. And it's definitely a dark horror campaign with lots of gory grittiness, and it's absolutely wonderful, but totally different from this one. So I like having that like weekend, very dark to very happy. It's great. I like it. Yep, that's me.
Thanks, Harris. Alex?
Hi, I'm Alex. I play Kiri. I'm on Twitter at AxolotlCure. I tweet about D&D and stuff, and I don't really have a whole lot of other like streams or anything going on right now. So just keep on watching our shit. Oh, favorite moment. My favorite moment as a discrete portion of time was the face that Ren made when Kendall asked to, I don't remember quite if it was like show Sentinel a book or like to look at the book the first time, but there was just such this authentic face of like pouting and like a defiant no. It was great. Perfect.
Speaking of, Salix, you want to give us your favorite moment?
Oh man, I think my favorite moment, it was probably when Juan Carlos was explaining how the pull felt to the portal. I absolutely loved the way it was described, and the action scene of him getting there, the way you two did that together. That was beautiful. I loved it.
Ren?
Dat me. Hi, I am Ren. Today I had the esteemed privilege of playing the role of Devereaux Thistlebrook, the plucky halfling fighter and connoisseur of foods and spices, apparently. I can be found on Twitter at Thorny Dryad. That's like a prickly bush. And beside playing Sundays here with my Open for Adventure family, I will also be the voice of a character for a podcast that will be releasing early in 2020 called Roads Uncharted. It is GM'd using the Genesis system and run by my lovely partner Dexara, who is in the chat here today and is a part of our O4A family. So keep your eyes peeled for that and come hang out with us too. My favorite part about today is there were a lot of great conversations between all of the characters today. But I think one of my favorite parts is definitely, I loved the heartfelt exchanges we've been getting. We had two of them today between Salix and Kiri. And I think seeing the two of them together, sharing in philosophical debates or just discussion on the merits of nature are things of wonder, and I absolutely am here for it.
Thank you, Ren. Juan Carlos!
Hey, just as I messed up earlier, I'm Juan. I'm Juan Carlos. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Sombero. I DM for a podcast called the Paradise Podcast. We're on basically everything, but we are taking a break for the holidays and we'll be back in the new year, hopefully with a nice little recap. And also part of the Yo for a family here, and it's amazing. So you should all go to the Discord and see what it's all about. My favorite part of this, the whole session was great, but my favorite image in my head that I got was Devereaux with a turkey strapped to his back and just annihilating a devil with his bow, or their bow. So I think that was, that was just fun to imagine. And I know that we'll have more things like that in the future.
Awesome. Thank you, Juan Carlos. And last but not least, I'm your host and dungeon master, Camille. I played everybody else, which today was just a giant and Sentinel. Kudos to you if you know who Sentinel is. If you want to know more about Sentinel's story, watch our Monday campaign, Fate's Chosen, some past episodes. You can find some quality content there. You can find me on Twitter at CamilleDoesDND. You can also find the channel on Twitter at Open4Adventure. If you like what we have going on here, we have 3 shows that are, including this one, that are like this. We have one more starting on Wednesdays on January 1st. In the new year, new show, Who Dis, DM'd by Callan. We also have another planar campaign that is going to be coming up. In the next month or so, we are still working on a finalized cast list. If you are interested, please come and join our Discord. We would love to talk to you about it. That will be run by Jordan, a.k.a. Goat, a.k.a. I don't know how to pronounce his Twitter handle. It's fine. Mine is of Chris Next. I want to give a shout out to our Warm and Fuzzies, which are Bel Chavez, woo! Which are Callan. Thank you, Callan. We love you, Callan. And then last but not least, King Sweet, who is active in our chat and has saved our S's a lot in this session today. And this isn't an unofficial Warm and Fuzzy because they're not technically a Patreon patron. However, Super Manizak 7, aka Always the DM, holy shit, friend. Holy shiza, that's 89 subs that you have contributed to our channel in the last 24 hours. That absolutely means the world to us. Thank you so much. Holy frick, Pettywhack, thank you. We look forward to seeing you all in our Discord. Don't forget to check out our lovely sponsors, Campaign Coins. Sponsor. They are amazing and great people. We are going to go do our call-outs. So if you have any feedback that you would like to give our players, go ahead and post it in general chat in our Discord, and I will make sure that they get it. Y'all have a great evening. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.